Hello, hello. Welcome back to Divine Destiny Guide. I pray you're doing well wherever you are. Sending you the purest of love and light. God is for us. Who can be against us? We're blessed and highly favored, highly protected. I must add, we're on top and we're going higher. Yes.
There's a grace when the heart is under fire. Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire, standing next to me. There was another in the waters, holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminded of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden, where another died for me. There is another in the fire.
We're on top and we're going higher. You need to know that God is for us. He is really for us. The weapons may form, but they cannot prosper.
All my dead left for death beneath the waters. I'm no longer a slave to my sin anymore. And should I fall in the space between what remains of me and this reckoning, either way I won't bow to the things of this world. And I know I will never be alone. There is another in the fire, standing next to me. There is another in the waters, holding back the sea. And should I ever need reminded what power set me free, there is a grave that holds nobody. Now that power lives in me. There is another in the fire. Oh, there's another in the fire.
Yes, there is another in the fire who is looking out for us. Yes, there is another in the fire who is taking care of us, loving on us. This is not a new song, but it's beautiful. It's from Hillsong United. It's called Another in the Fire. And I'm telling you, God is for us. And because He's for us, who can be against us? And yes, I know this video, it's not monetized, but I'm telling you, God is for us and He deserves all the praise, all the glory. And for Him, I will do anything. I will do anything because He will always take care of me. He's always looking out for me. It doesn't matter what you're up against right now. And not everybody's going through a tough time now either. And even in your most accomplished, celebrated, cherished, those of you are excited and you have great news in your life, God is for you. And He's with you in your moment of celebration. And do you deserve it? Absolutely. Heck yes, you deserve whatever joy, peace that you're receiving. And for those who are on the other side of the gulf, you're feeling sad, feeling alone, dismayed, discouraged, betrayed, abandoned, rejected, outcasted, oppressed, suppressed, you name it. There is another, and God never leaves us. And it reminds me too of in the Bible with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These Jewish boys, they stood for God. And you have to realize, when you stand for something and you decide that you're not just gonna fall for anything, just the fact that you're standing for your cause, you're going to have backlash. You're gonna have people who come against you. And so when the king ordered for them to bow, and they decided, no, I will not bow to your God, because I know my God is great. He's powerful. He's the one true living God. And they stood their ground. Then the king ordered for them to be bound and be thrown in the fire. And they went without a fight, knowing that it doesn't matter in the end, even if God did not show up for them, they would still die for him. That is how much their faith was so grounded and stable. And so the flame was so hot because he ordered them to turn it up, make the heat even hotter, that even the soldiers who threw them in the fire, they were killed. And the 3 boys were thrown in the fire. And then afterward, they asked, there were 4 men in the fire. 4. God showed up in the fire with them. I'm sure they were praying. And they thought that this was the day probably they're going to take their last breath. Because see, sometimes we can be walking with God, have a relationship with divine, but yet still we don't believe that he will come through for us in such a huge way. 4 men, they were walking around in the fire. They were not burned. In your darkest moments, whether you're in the jail, in the hospital, your sick bed, you're going through a divorce, a crisis with your family, your children, your child, backlash in the workplace, whatever it is that you're dealing with right now, you just need to know that it's not too much for God to show up for you. That is the courage that we need to have, the faith that we need to possess, that we do have a God who will show up and show out for us. And I mean, over and over in the Bible, we see it. Daniel, he would take time out to pray, to have his devotion with God. And you have these wicked people who were watching and conspiring to take him out, complain about him worshiping his God. He still wouldn't stop. The king loved him, but because he already passed this decree, this law, he had to stand by his word. And won't you know it, that people, the things that they know they couldn't stand against, they have no problem throwing us into it. And watch with glee, with wonder, to see, let's see if your God is going to show up for you. Let's see how big your God is. You think your God is all that. Your God is bigger, better, greater than our God. Let's see how your God is going to show up for you. People will do that. Things that they could not come against. They don't mind setting us up for it big time. And so the king on the day, he had to make that tough decision to throw Daniel in the lion's den. And he did. He did. But again, even in the lion's den, they were hungry, but they couldn't touch him. They could not touch Daniel. And he prayed. And God answered him. God answered him. See, when you have a calling on your life, when we have a calling on our life, the enemy strategizes with people who are here on a demonic mission. They are warlocks. They came specifically to destroy us, to destroy our life. And they will do whatever it takes. And so when God answered Daniel's prayer, the angel was sent to deliver him. Won't you know, the devil still had his angel wrestle, try to block the angel of God. And see, God still had a plan. He sent another angel to wrestle, to release the angel so that he could go and deliver the word to Daniel. I'm telling you, oh, just when things look hopeless, our God delivers again and again and again. Unless it is in his will for the enemies to take us out or for us to go that way, it will never happen. And this is what a lot of people are realizing now, that they mess with the wrong one. They mess with the wrong one, but you are the right one. You are the chosen one. Sometimes before the real deal comes in our life in love, he sends in a bootleg, a fake, to make it seem as if this person is the soulmate, the twin flame, only for them to destroy our lives and try to block us, because he knows the calling that we have on our life. And so if the enemy can hijack us, he will. But I'm here to remind you, just like he did with the children of Israel, you know, when they could hear the pounding hoofs of Pharaoh and his army coming behind them, he commanded Moses to part the sea. And like the song says, there's another in the fire and there's another in the water holding back the seas. He parted the seas. Doesn't that look like a wing? He parted the seas, the sea with his wings. And it's like on his back, the children of Israel, they walked over just in time to finalize. And when Pharaoh and his men, they thought that they were going to catch them, they all drowned. That is the God that we serve. And sometimes we're called to remember that. When Paul and Silas, they were chained in the prison, the jailer got special requests to bound them, keep them secure. They were placed in the middle of the prison. That means they would have to go through a lot to get through. But at midnight, at the midnight cry, they started to worship. And there is something about us worshiping. There is something about us lifting up the name of the Most High God. And when they did, their chains, everything was broken, loose. Even the jailer fell asleep in the midst of all of this. When he woke up, he was so afraid because he thought he was in trouble. But Paul reassured him, we're all here. We're still here. Immediately the jailer asked, how can he be saved? And he told him, believe that Jesus is the Son of God. And he accepted and he was baptized. Don't you know that the same people who are called to chain us, to bound us, to hold us captive, they will in turn become a believer? Because when they see that, because see, at first, they, like the fool said, there is no God. But when they realize how they set up their plans and their strategies, that you had nothing, you had no idea this was going on behind your back. Who could it be but Jesus? God will cause you to make a believer out of them. The same people who wanted to hurt you, break us. God will cause them to be a believer that there is a God. After Daniel was released from the den, the king had respect for Daniel's God. The enemies, they will have to put some respect on the name of Jesus, on God's name. Because a lot of them, they are realizing that they really have no power. The devil has no power. They were only a pawn in the enemy's workshop. Wow. Oh, I love this. I love it for you. I love it for us. There is another in the fire. Whatever your situation you're going through right now, whatever the upheaval, again, even in your most successful moments, your happy time, you're rejoicing because you got that car, you have that house, you're married, you're going to be graduating. What is it? You're free. You're not drinking. You're not smoking anymore. You break those soul ties. You broke the generational curse from over your life. God is with you. Even in your most celebrated moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good luck. Spirit guides, progress, justice, structure, system. You're on the right track. Someone from the other side has your back and encourages you, wow, to try your best. You will succeed. Observe your surroundings and communicate clearly. Be sure that everything will fall into place. Wow. You're on the right track. 1, 2, 3. I don't know, maybe if you're seeing this number here. It says you're on the right track. Someone from the other side has your back and encourage you to try your best. Someone on the other side. Your spirit guides, your ancestors. God is showing up in your moment of fire. Any challenges, I'm telling you, thank you. Thank you for divine confirmation. There is another in the fire with you. Whatever the battles are that are raging in your life, God is with you. With you to overcome obstacles. Look, 16:16. Overcoming obstacles. Your level of self-control is sufficient. I'm telling you, some of you, you have some wonderful moments. You overcame some stuff. You're an overcomer. Your level of self-control is sufficient to make things right. On the horizon is the possibility of beginning a new romance or platonic friendship, as well as chances to begin life anew with a person from one's past. Everything will fall into place again. Everything. 2 cards saying everything will fall into place here. Oh my goodness. You may be seeing 333. I mean, you could look up some of these for time's sake. I will not go into all of them, but 111, trusting your intuition. 333, it's support, growth. It says, seeing the number 333 is a sign that it's time to focus inward. Work on your skills, discover your talents, and use your imagination. Unleash your inner artist. Doing so will boost your self-esteem and sense of competence. It does wonders for your sense of purpose and contributes to your community as well. And trust in your intuition. I love that. I love that for you. I love it for us. Wow. This is great. Everything, all things are working together for our good. This is what we need to know. This is what we need to take comfort in, that God is causing everything to work together for our good. Wow, look who came out. Archangel Michael, thank you. You are protected. There is another in the fire. I'm telling you, there is another in the fire. Thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. God is protecting us, taking great care of us. For some of you, is having a trustworthy friends. Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people I can trust and love. That is so important for this season that we're in, to making healthy choices. For a lot of you, a lot of us, yes, we are earth angels as well. And this is why God is fighting for us. Oh, look at this. Count your blessings. Thank you. Thank you, universe. When I see universe, I see God. So thank you, God and angels, for the blessings in my life. Count your blessings. How many times have you been rescued? How many times? How many times? It's like writing, having a gratitude list. Clear your vibes. Thank you, Metatron, for clearing my energy field. Yes. Removing all negative energies from our fields is what I'm saying. For a lot of you, it is still moments of celebration here. Trust your vibes. Thank you, angels. Today, I choose to trust my intuition and your guidance. Amen. Another card of intuition. I love how divine is showing up and showing out for you and showing out for us as well. Yes, for a lot of you, a lot of us, we're closing out a cycle where, yes, you were thrown in the pits of some lions, some snakes, some tigers, some bears. I mean, Disney World has nothing on you. Nothing on you. In prison, where people imprison you by using their words to bound you. People wanted to take you out, assassinated your character, wanted to unalive us, plan strategies to kill our dreams, to snuff out our light. God is successfully closing this out. And you see, balancing this with the yin and the yang. All things are working out for our good. Everything, see, it's like a lot of people, they admire the phoenix rising from the ashes and you get that celebration. Yeah, but a lot of people don't realize that just like the butterfly, the process it takes to rise again, the courage it takes to rise again when all the odds were stacked against you. Everybody threw in the chips because they thought that there is no way you're going to survive that fire. No way you're going to survive the plans we have for you. It is only you alone. Look how many of us. And don't we know it, that we have more in the spirit than they have in this world. Yes, like the card says, trusting your vibes. Thank you, angels. Today I choose to trust my intuition and your guidance. For a lot of you, a lot of us, God strategically moved us out of dangers from people, places, and things who did not have the best of intentions for us. So like the phoenix, you had to crash and burn. It's like a plane falling out the sky, crashing, burning. And it's like piece by piece, like with a 10 of swords in your back. You decide by the help and with the help of God who wants to put us back together again. And see now with the judgment, it's resurrection morning. Look at it's like the colors of the fire here. Rising from defeat, from ashes. You see all of these here, these are skulls. These are like people who did not survive what you have gone through or what you're going through right now. Not everybody can survive the fire. Not everybody could. Not even the ones who put you in the fire could survive the fire. And so when you ask that God give them a dose of their own medicine, they're going to cry that they're victims now because they're weak. It's easy to give a command, right? But they can't take it themselves. So these people, as they roast in hell, in torment, they will have to watch you rise. You answer your call. You fly away into your destiny Wow, the sun. This is the happiest card in the deck, I must add. The sun. We need it. It's a necessity. This is abundance. This is blessings. This is prosperity. This is stability. All this time, these are the things that were hidden from us. The things that we didn't know. The things that the enemies, some of them were trying to do things in the dark to keep us from closing out a cycle. They wanted to keep us stuck. They wanted us to conform. But no, there is another in the fire. It's like when you trust God, and I'm telling you, it's not easy. It is not easy to walk by faith, to live by faith. I can tell you, it is not easy. But like the song says, I've come too far to give up now. It's like when I stop and I look back, it's like, no, I've come too far. And God, He has been too good to me. He never failed. He never failed. If it's at midnight, before dawn, He's gonna show up for me. And He show up for me, and He show up for you. People wanted you to stay stuck, stagnant, with this Two of Swords, trapped, confused, stuck between two minds. But no, it's like in the, and with the moon here is using your intuition. People don't want you to trust your intuition. That God is causing all things to work together for your good. That what you're going through is going to bring you something better, greater on the other side. So they want to keep you stuck and trapped in the unknown. In the things that they were doing in secret, whether it's their plans, whether it's manipulating energies to keep you stuck in a cycle. No, but see, by you standing firm, now you have, when I see good luck, I see blessings. It's like the stars are aligned. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's in order. And knowing that God will protect you, He never fails. Archangel Michael is here. There is another in the fire. They wanted you, they wanted us to be disgruntled, just feeling bitter, looking down on all our failures, feeling like God is never going to deliver us, to show up for us. We miss out on our blessings because we're so busy looking at what we don't have with this Four of Cups. They wanted us to keep our heads down. Don't you know there is power when we look up? Because when we look up, it changes everything. It changes everything. And then you will see what God has in store for you. This hand that is coming in, they wanted us to miss opportunities. They didn't want us to see the blessing, the sun, the abundance that God has in store for us. Look, they want us to be in the Three of Swords, heartbroken and discouraged. But there's another in the fire. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles. Yes, this is you reaping the fruits of your labor. This is you. Everything that you work so hard for, it shall come to pass. It shall come to pass. If God says it, He's going to do it. He's going to do it. And with the Hermit, yeah, this is you being wiser. Look, all of this gray here, it's wisdom. You have so much knowledge to share with the world, to share with others. Because you know what it is like to go within. To do your search, your search, to go on the inward. To be alone, to spend time with God. This is why God shows up for you. Because He knows your heart. He knows your heart. You study His word. You pray. You go by yourself like Daniel. You spend time with God. And this is why, wow, this is why the wheel is here. Yes, it's in your favor. The wheel is here. This is karma. This is fated. This is destiny. What God has for you, He has for us. It's for us. And it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what they do. All this is doing is allowing you to come back bigger, better, greater, stronger, more flourishing. The part of you that was sacrificed here is nothing compared to the resurrected part of you that will come, because nobody can ignore the Son. It is fated. It is destined. Whatever it is that the enemy was trying to block for you, what God has for you, it is for you. He will show up in your fire. Look at this, Ace of Pentacles, a brand new stable offer. This is coming again from the hands of God. Yes, this is you walking into your blessings. Yes, King of Pentacles, and right behind it is Queen of Pentacles. Stable, loving. Again, if this is a partnership, a connection, strong, sturdy. If this is just you mastering both sides, you're a warrior. You're not a victim. You're a fighter. You went through things. You survived things that nobody else could. Yep. And they're going to have to watch. In defeat, they will have to watch. Amen. I love this. I love it for you. I love it for us. Until next time, be blessed.